For most of my life, I searched for happiness in all the wrong places. I chased relief through alcohol, gambling, religion, materialism, even became a certified hypnotist. All of it was an attempt to silence the pain of a restless mind that wouldn't stop replaying the past or predicting the worst in the future. It wasn't until about 6 years before I went to prison that I discovered something radically different: the power of living in the present moment. Through teachers like Eckhart Tolle and many others, spiritual and secular alike, I began to see that peace wasn't out there somewhere, it was always here, now. Back then, life's challenges used to knock me down for days. I would ruminate, overanalyze, suffer. Worst of all, I wasn't fully available to the people I love, especially my kids. But slowly I began to shift. Days of stress became hours, then hours became minutes. Eventually, only a moment of frustration would arise before I could smile, notice it, and return to presence. Then came the turning point. I became the focus of a federal white-collar investigation. Eventually, I ran out of money to keep fighting the Department of Justice. What followed was one of the hardest chapters of my life. I was threatened with charges being filed against my dear friend, who was my CEO, and my sister, who was a business partner. With no real financial resources left to defend me, and under enormous pressure, I took a plea. I was sentenced to 5 years in a federal prison. It was such a tough time, but my study and adaptation of Tolle's living in the now became my salvation. The well-being of my kids was my biggest concern. Their mom was incredibly supportive, and I knew I would still be there for them. It would just be from prison. Presence showed me we would all get through this just fine. Ironically, it was prison that gave me the solitude to go even deeper. Had I not already been practicing presence for years, the events leading to my incarceration could have crushed me. Instead, they became an opportunity to solidify everything I had learned. In those 27 months, I immersed myself in the wisdom of countless paths. I found a common thread in everything. The invitation to live in the now was the only real solution to life's suffering. And I realized with total clarity that lasting peace comes only from presence. Not from avoiding pain, but from no longer being at war with it. Presence dissolves suffering, and it dissolved mine. It unraveled the mental labels and judgments I had once placed on people and situations, and it gave me the ability to work with others, fellow inmates who were struggling, and help them find the same peace. And through that, I actually developed a simple, powerful, and fast technique that consistently brought people back to presence. It worked. Over and over, it worked. When I was released early due to COVID overcrowding in the prisons, and later completed home confinement and probation, I had been free for years internally. Life's challenges never stopped, but they lost their power to disturb me for long. In fact, it's often in the most difficult moments that I find it easiest to be present. Of course, I still catch myself getting thrown off. Something as small as cooking and realizing I'm out of some ingredient that I need can really churn up some old frustration. But I see now how silly it is. I laugh at myself and I come back to presence right away. That's the gift of presence. It's always available, no matter what. You can always live in the present moment, the more practice you have. Today, presence is my natural state. It's not perfection. It's not a practice. It's simply being here. And it's the kindest, most loving gift you can give your loved ones and yourself. It will end your suffering permanently. That's what it's done for me. If you're ready to live with that kind of peace and presence, I invite you to contact us or contact me for a personalized one-on-one session. We'll walk together into the now. Visit presencewithoutpractice.com to get started.